They spent $170 million to make the thing, and it had the lowest opening, under $50 million, of any of these live-action Disney remakes that they've ever had.
So apparently, according to them and according to the writers of Snow White, women can't even want to be in love anymore.
The new Disney boss babe, who is Rachel Zegler, the inverse of happy.
So she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
They're leaning into woke. Hardcore.
They're petrified of some kind of backlash.
And you know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
Nobody wants a movie about true love? What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? It's the outrage.
Every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
I wanted my money back. It was very disappointing.
They are pretending like Rachel Zegler is the first of them all when she looks like Lord Farquaad in the film.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Rachel Zegler, like so many kids raised on TikTok, she's all for infantata is the only global solution.
Rachel Zegler, she's an...
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Right now, it's looking pretty rough for Disney. They've been making some major changes lately, but not the kind fans are loving. From questionable decisions to bold moves that just don't seem to land, it's like they're on a mission to rewrite their own legacy. And now, Rachel Zegler is adding fuel to the fire by turning the original Snow White storyline into a feminist overhaul that no one saw coming. A $200 million train wreck just crashed hard, and fans are absolutely losing it. But here's the big question. Has Disney finally learned its lesson, or are they just too far gone to change the course of this messy situation? The remake of Snow White wasn't really necessary, let's be honest. The previous versions already cemented their place as timeless classics, keeping that legacy alive in the industry. But nope, Disney didn't see it that way. Instead of letting it rest, they thought dropping a new Snow White would cash in on nostalgia and break records. Spoiler alert, things fell apart. Their plan backfired big time. Not only did the movie flop, but one of its main stars, Rachel Zegler, made the situation even messier with a bizarre social media rant. Seriously, just when you think it couldn't get any worse, Rachel's words ignited a whole new wave of criticism. At first, it seemed like just another round of online opinions, commentators sharing their take on the movie. But then Rachel said something so wild that even the media couldn't ignore it. So what exactly did she say that got everyone talking? Eventually, just when you thought the backlash couldn't get any worse, Rachel Zegler decided to jump into the mix with a social media rant that left everyone scratching their heads and news reacting to it. At first, it seemed like just another round of online opinions, commentators sharing their take on the movie. But then Rachel said something so wild that even the media couldn't ignore it. So what exactly did she say that got everyone talking? You're about to find out.
About the box office disaster that is Disney's Snow White, and the lead actress's delusions of grandeur are not helping. Here she compares herself to a priceless piece of art, the Winged Victory.
To everyone who hates when I win, the Winged Victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It makes a little bit more sense.
You can gaslight people so easily.
Yes.
Bill Maher and other influential figures has really stepped into this as they all drop their opinion in different interviews, shows, and podcasts. But before we dive into that, let's talk about the Disney and Rachel Zegler's so-called star power to raise about $150 million during opening weekend. But instead, what did they get? An underwhelming $43 million in the US. That was pathetic and a failed strategy, because make a good calculation out the $200 million budget plus marketing costs. Oh man, that's a great loss right there. But here's the thing. Despite such a massive flop, barely anyone was shocked. Sounds strange, right? Why did no one see this as a surprise? Well, stick around, because we're about to break it down. During the premiere, fans didn't show up. Theater was cricket empty. That was the moment social media got flooded with reactions, as people stated how happy they were for not wasting their money. Even die-hard stan of Disney didn't leave their homes. Because this was more than unnecessary, because there was not that single energy of excitement towards the release. But why did everything seem to go south for such a great industry lead like Disney? Yep, blame it all on Rachel Zegler, who's a leading character on the film. But why blame it on her? And what exactly did she do that ruined this all? But here's the kicker. While Rachel was supposed to be hyping the film, she was out there calling the 1937 classic weird and outdated and labeling Prince Charming a stalker. Did she really think that would go over well with fans? You're not ready for what happens next. So let's see how much great movies from Disney has made with no single bad comments, and what's the news eventually saying about this?
Comparison, so The Lion King in 2019, $191 million. Beauty and the Beast in 2017, $174 million. People do not want to watch this new woke remake of this movie, and it's been in trouble for a while. You know, they scaled back the premiere that they were supposed to have. There's been a lot of controversy over the kind of political commentary that Rachel Zegler has made, and speaking to lots of different people, even some of my friends that have no interest in politics.
The only person who could take this movie to the next level is the same person who ruined the whole movie progress and turned it into a catastrophe. Just before the Snow White graphics hit the screens, she had already ruined it all as she went ahead and made statements that pushed audiences away. In different interviews, she has mocked great movies such as the 1937 classic, calling it weird and outdated. Was that even a good move for her? Funny enough, Disney didn't even address that. She further bragged that her version of Snow White wasn't about love, but about becoming a leader. Did she stop there? Nah. She continued her rant by calling Prince Charming a stalker. But why the hell would she change the whole perspective of the movie from a beloved fairy tale movie to a feminist lecture? Very less professional behavior from Rachel. Her social media posts became so toxic like her interview, some say that's just who she is. She bashed fans who tried to criticize the film, posted anti-Trump rants that made everyone hate the whole movie and its cast even more. All of these attitudes has made everyone leave the move for Rachel to watch it herself. It's unbelievable that even from the little numbers of people who came for the premiere were disappointed and began to walk out without even feeling the energy the movie was supposed to bring, unlike the previous version of Snow White. And Disney didn't just update Snow White, they gutted it as they took out all the magic, the adventure, romance, and turned it into a dull, preachy moment. Now the question is, where does Disney go from here? How will they make things up with their pissed fans? This seems like one of the greatest failure in the movie industry. Rachel really needs to be tamed, as things has crumbled real bad. But wait, how did Rachel go from being the face of a beloved fairy tale remake to the villain of her own story? It's a messy situation that's about to get even messier. At the end of the day, Disney's attempt to modernize Snow White backfired, and Rachel Zegler's controversial remarks only poured fuel on the fire. Fans are left wondering why Disney didn't address her comments earlier and whether they'll manage to bounce back from this PR nightmare. But that doesn't still change the fact that the movie is down the drain, sadly. So what do you think? Was Disney wrong to greenlight this version, or did Rachel's rants do most of the damage? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this drama.